Are you ready to stop being pushed around and affected, infected, and traumatized and dramatized by other people's energy? Are you an empathic or intuitive soul, a sensitive, who finds that your day is only as good as the people you're around? Or that you're like in the most wonderful mood until you get around some moody, surly, nasty other person, and the next thing you know, they're just hijacking your nervous system and completely snatching away your peace of mind? Well, that is happening to a lot of people, especially if you are an empath, for example, if you're sensitive, if you're a highly sensitive person, if you're an intuitive person, if you are an open-hearted person, then you may find that there is a backlash to all of that, and that you are really going to have a day that is only as good as the people you're around. And that's not good. So today I'm going to talk about how to create what we call energetic boundaries, what I'm going to call your energetic boundaries that really preserve your peace of mind and prevent you from being a psychic sponge for everybody else's spilled drama and trauma. If you're new to my channel, your spirit probably brought you here, and I'm glad you're here. I hope you find something truly useful for your life's well-being. And if you're coming back, welcome back, because we're going to talk about creating energetic, truly energetic boundaries and sanctity so you can navigate this world without being traumatized by it. The first thing to talk about is, well, what are you protecting? I mean, you really need to know what is important if you want to create a good sense of boundaries around it. And that what you're protecting is your spirit, your authentic self. And for a lot of people, that is a concept that they haven't really thought about, or that don't know well. They don't know their spirit or even think of themselves as a spirit. So let's start there. What does your spirit love? That's a beginning. Let's start talking about what really matters to you, what leaves you feeling that you're being you. And for that, we can even break it down to what are the 3 or 4 most important things to you that really feel like, yes, this mirrors very clearly who I am and what I care about. Now, for example, I'll start with me. I really care about my kids. I have beautiful daughters. I love them with my whole heart. I have fun with them. Now I have a granddaughter and another child soon to come. This is what I care about. Always have been really devoted to my family. Not blindly loyal, but I enjoy that. I'm very fortunate in that regard. So part of my boundaries is to create a life that allows me to be available to that. I really care about manifesting and teaching my work, my books, my classrooms. I love empowering people. That's central to my sense of I, is to really support and empower others to feel creative and resilient and have fun in life. Super important to me. Also, it's been very important to me to not be controlled. I have never been a good employee. Every single job I've ever had, I either had to quit or was fired, because I have a spirit that basically underneath it all says, don't tell me what to do, by other people. Now, it's not that they're good or bad. It's just I'm not a good follower. I like to lead my own life. Always have. My very first job was working in a men's fashion store in the back office, and I had to post their monthly bills on this archaic machine, and I hated that job so much the machine blew up. I swear it was my own resentment. That's when I really discovered probably should work for myself. What are your values? What are the things that matter to you? The environment, maybe you really value that. Maybe nature, maybe that is a not negotiable for you. Friendships, time for friendships that are kindred spirits. So I'd say start there, because if you don't know who you are, you're not going to be very boundaried around it. Secondly, I want you to write out what your goals are. Now, this is new for people, and it's like, I don't think it's very reasonable or necessary to write out ultimate goals. Just what are your top priorities now? So your values are the things you love and care about, and your priorities are the things you show up to. They're close, but they're not the same. So my priorities are that I go to work every day and I show up and I'm on time and I do a good job because it matters to me. Or my priority is that I take care of my backyard and the flowers in my garden because that's a priority. I show up every day. So where do you show up every day? Where do you want to show up every day? If you're a writer, do you show up to your writing desk every day? If you're a musician, do you show up to your music and your singing or your instrument every day? If you want to be physically fit, do you show up to some physical activity every day? If you want to be spiritually centered, do you show up to meditation every day? So write down the things that you do show up to every day because those are your priorities. And ask yourself, do the things I show up to every day match my values? I remember having a student once who said, I show up to a job I hate every single day. So I guess it doesn't match my values of being in a creative environment with loving friends. It's good information. It's a good aha. You don't have to go in armored at work. Maybe just don't go there to work. So I was so mad trying to have boundaries around all these negative people until I realized I was the most negative of all of them because I didn't want to be there. So this little exercise in reflection is very effective. Very effective. Am I looking at my values and is my choices and where I show up congruent with what I value? This other woman said, I really value family, but I was showing up every single day to the pub down at the corner and showing up late for dinner and having one or two drinks too many. So apparently I was incongruent. And then I was having all kinds of drama with my family saying, you don't respect my boundaries. I get to do what I want. But I was disrespecting my own boundaries. And then let's talk about in the priorities is self-care, yourself, loving yourself, part of your priorities. Because I know for a lot of people, it's not. I know I certainly was taught to put myself not just last, but completely out of the circle in Catholic school and take care of everyone else. I had to learn to prioritize my own well-being and take care of my spirit. My spiritual teachers taught me, but I had to learn. It didn't come with automatic knowing. I had to learn that taking care of me was my job, and to know what did take care of me was my job. The other thing you want to do when you're learning to not be sucked up by everybody else's energy is to recognize what gives you energy. It's really important to recognize, just don't hope it just floats along, but really recognize what gives you energy. For me, being alone gives me energy. I love my own company. I read, I do art, I write. I really love to write. I've written 32 books, so obviously that is really something that gives me energy. I listen to music. I read detective novels. Love it. Gives me energy. My family gives me energy. Spending time with my granddaughter gives me energy. She makes me laugh really hard. So even though I get physically tired, energetically, my cup is running over. Travel gives me energy. Markets like going to flea markets and foreign markets gives me energy. I love it. Shopping gives me energy. Less so now than it used to, but I love fashion. I love design. I love beautiful things. So I've also learned that rather than just shopping, I can go to fashion museums. I can go to beautiful architectural museums and see beautiful things. Gives me energy. So if you want to not be completely drained by others, name 5 things and put them in the comments of what gives you energy. And then ask yourself, am I doing any of that? Am I doing any of that? Because other people can't drain you if you're engaged in what is giving you energy. Sorry, not free. I'm busy doing my ceramics. Sorry, not free. I'm at the library tonight. Sorry, not free. I'm playing with my granddaughter. I'm getting energy. It's when you're passive about what gives you energy, or you're unconscious of it, you get sucked in like the piper dragging everybody behind. You start getting dragged into other people's energy. The other thing is to be allergic to drama. Now, of course, that begs the question, are you the one creating it? If you're a drama creator, you are actually part of the group that is draining others. So you have to just learn to be a drama-free zone. And the way to be drama-free is to decide whatever problems you have really require resilience and solution. So decide to be a drama-free zone yourself, and then let other people know, I'm a drama-free zone. I'm available for real solutions and creative conversations and courses of action that are going to make a difference, but I don't want to just be someone who's in the dump. Empaths especially listen to this because you will attract people by your open-heartedness and your sensitivity, and they will confuse you with the garbage dump. And if you don't let them know you're a drama-free zone, they're going to just dump before you know what's happened. The minute you say, how are you? You set up yourself for the dump. So don't ask, especially those who are drama. Ask them what, my mom, when she was alive, used to say to people, tell me something good. When she would greet them, it's so good to see your beautiful spirit. Tell me something good. And it would stop people. They'd have to think about it because they were not ever in the habit of thinking of something good. But it kept her from getting dumped on. And I've adopted that particular habit. Tell me something good. And another big tool is called your turn, my turn. So if someone does dump on you, give them a timer and say, okay, here's the deal. I will listen for 3 minutes, but after 3 minutes, then you stop and I get to dump on you for 3 minutes. Now that surprises people, but if you have mutual dump, it kind of evens out and you don't feel drained. You feel like, okay, I listened to you, but I also got to be heard. I also got to vent. Now, real friends will say, fair, okay. Then, in the Peruvian tradition, that's called Aine, A-I-N-E, which means your turn, my turn. Your turn today for you, tomorrow for me. In other words, your turn, my turn. So that's another tool to prevent being dumped. But now here's the big one. You need to create an energetic frame of mind that says, I am no longer responsible for giving other people my energy to feel good. This is the core. So all these other things set up the frame of mind. But the big life-changing decision is, I am not responsible for managing other people's emotional well-being or state of mind so I feel good. And my teacher taught me this lesson in a very funny way. He said, okay, if you're going to be an intuitive, if you're going to be empathic, if you're going to be a psychic, if you're going to be a guide, then what you need to learn first and foremost is to mind your own business. And when I learned that, I was just 12. I thought, wow, that's really selfish. That's harsh. That's putting me in my place. But he laughed and said, let me explain. You really do have the responsibility to mind your business. So you need to know what your business is. You need to decide what your goals are, what your responsibilities are, what is important to you. And also recognize you can't mind someone else's business. Even if you think you're smart enough and to do a better job than they can, you cannot. If you're taking on someone else's responsibility, the minute you turn away, they're going to go right back to whatever they're doing that isn't working for them. So mind your own business. Now, how do you do that and not come off looking like a jerk? You say things like, I'm so sorry you're struggling, but you know what? You're so creative. I'm sure you'll work it out. Or I have confidence in you. This will pass. Or, wow, this has been going a long time. What are you going to do about it? Or, geez, that must be awfully hard. I don't know what to say, but I really wish you the best. Now, that might all sound really strange and even phony, but practice it. It's not phony, it's just different. And then secondly, you want to come into a place energetically. I'm going to teach you a lesson now. It's called creating your room to breathe. And this technique is something I've used in many, many videos, but I want you to use this to reverse the energy. So you're not expelling all your energy to feel good. You're containing your energy and you're letting everyone else mind their own business. And there's another word for that, respecting them to manage their own affairs. So the way to do that is every morning, I want you to just start the day by creating an energetic field that will protect you from any dissonance. So you're not going to be protecting from an awful world. You're just going to be only available to what is a vibrational match or higher. First, you exhale all the noise, all the energy holding on to or that you're holding on to. You want to do this 2 or 3 times. Breathe in through the nose, pull your belly to your spine, blow out like you're blowing candles, and empty yourself of all the energy. Cut the cords. You can even do this. Imagine doing it in the back too. So that basically means everybody, everything, known and unknown, out of the pool. Next, you want to breathe up from the feet into the heart space because that anchors you. You want to open the top and see this energy coming up from your feet, coming all the way up through your crown, and then cascading down like a beautiful, beautiful array of light, pulling up to the crown, and filling your space with beautiful, clear, bright life force. Breathing up and out. Really beautiful. You can imagine different colored lights. It can be white light, it can be pink, it could be purple. But this visualization actually gets your energy flowing in a very clear, fluid manner. 2 or 3 empties, and then 3 or 4 fill up to the top and it's cascading down. And that energy field, I want you to keep for you. It's like, I am going to stay in this energy and no one is going to come and siphon this off. I'm not giving this energy. I'm contained in this energetic field. I am containing myself in this beautiful, energetic field of unconditional love. And this frequency is going to be where I live all day long. I'm not going to jump out of it, and I'm not going to give it away. I can just breathe quietly when I'm in the presence of someone else. And if you breathe and listen, they will start building up their own energy field. So if someone's complaining, take your hands, cover your solar plexus, which is your belly button. Let me see if I can show you this. Here, cover your solar plexus like this. And then turn slightly, just like this, and listen. But you're protecting, because this is where the energy goes. The energy goes right outside your belly button. So you want to protect and not let it go out. So just breathe and listen. And then reassure people, but don't give them your energy. Besides, they have their own energetic field. You don't have to give anybody your energy. That is just an anxiety response to control how they feel so you don't have to feel it. This crossed arms slightly turned to the side is more effective because it keeps you from absorbing their energy and then wanting to give them yours. This is a nice, fun little practice. It's very subtle. You just kind of turn. You can just, don't barricade because that's a little bit obvious and can invite some conversation. Just turn casually. Let me do this again. Let me turn the camera. Just casually turn like, I'm listening. Just like this. This protects you. And then breathe in through the nose. And as you're listening, you can do one of 2 things. If it's really stressful, just slightly, gently, because their energy is then reflected out. You can also just sigh. Oh, that must be tough. Oh, you're pushing their energy away. You're not giving them yours. Just remember this: one spirit, one body. Your spirit and your body. Don't let all the squatters in to come and take your energy. Don't let them come and get that energy from you. It's like you wouldn't open your house and just say, okay, anybody who's having a bad day, come in and help yourself to whatever I have because you're having a bad day. So this is important to get in your head, to have this energetic protection. And I don't have to give other people energy is really going to keep you from getting pushed around. So as a review, first, fill yourself up with what does give you energy. Music and funny television shows and good books and nature, which I look out my window every day and see every day. Walks in the park, good food and creating. Creating really gives you energy. Writing and making clothing. I have one of my daughters loves decorating kazoos. She calls them spirit flutes, and they are fabulous. My other daughter loves to just cook and create beautiful things in her home. She even does the needlepoint. Where she gets the time, I don't know, but it fills your spirit. Because if you don't feel your spirit, you're going to be the energy drain on others. I personally love to go for long walks. I love to go to beautiful stores and look at lovely homewares and just admire the creativity. Just admire the beautiful creations, bookstores, antique stores. I love libraries. So make your list so first you fill yourself up. That's yours. And recognize your priorities, recognize your values, and look at your choices. Are you betraying yourself? And then finally, create this, I think it's called the toroidal field. I'm not sure how to spell that, but you breathe up through the crown and cascade down like a beautiful bubble. And I'm in that all day. Breathing up through the spine, up through the chakras, up through, and then just think like a fountain of beautiful light. And then it'd be interesting as you do this meditation, set it every morning. You can do it again anytime you feel your energy is off. But first you want to do the exhale. That's called the empty the pool. Breathing in. Cross when you're around energy takers. But mostly decide. Mind your own business. Minding your own business is the most loving thing you can do for yourself and others. You're respecting them to mind theirs. You can encourage them. Wow, that's really challenging. You probably want to do something about that. Wow, I don't know what to say. Wow, you've been having this issue for a while. What are you going to do about it? Wow, I really wish you luck. Wow, I love you so much. I'm sorry you're having this challenge, but you know what? You will figure it out. Now, that's empowering. Let me help you. Let me fix it. Let me solve. That's codependency. It doesn't solve the problem, and it's minding their business. So this is how you energetically stay in your own power. And you know the benefit of that is you have better sleep, you have a better mood, you have better health, you have more creativity, you have hugely more intuition and guidance, more joy, and more attractivity to a higher vibration. Anything that doesn't match unconditional love or higher, you decide, will not enter my field. I love you over there, but you can't take my energy. Just like I'm not going to give you the keys to my house to help yourself. Deciding that I'm not going to give you my energy, I don't have to, is going to be a game changer. Empaths, you do not have to run away from the world. You just have to create your toroidal field. You just have to create your room to breathe. You just have to create by filling yourself up, attending to what matters to you, naming your priorities, and not being completely available to everybody else's experience. Life is tough. People are going to be noisy and cranky and full of drama as they struggle, but it doesn't mean you have to dive into their movie and star in it. Come back to self, mind your own business. It is the best tool for protecting yourself from being energetically drained, and it will preserve your energy so that you can manifest. Because if you're drained and you have no gas in the tank, your manifestations are going to peter out. So this is the gift that keeps on giving. Thanks for tuning in. Love to mind your own business. It does feel really good. And if you enjoyed this, please give me a thumbs up and subscribe. And I'll see you next week. All my love.